Okay, now it's there. All right, can you hear me okay? You see my screen? Oh. You see my kids? Yeah, yeah. Okay, now are we in business? I wonder if we can edit. Okay, can you hear me okay? All right, so hello. You are at, okay, edit. All right, so let's just get this party started. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Cheryl, and I have about 18 years of experience working in the building industry and 10 years working with small residential projects ranging from small remodels all the way up to new construction. And it turns out, actually, let me back up. Last year, I started working on designing my own home, and through my research and looking into, best building practices, I discovered Passive House. And what I realized is, in this day and age, we're able to fly or take rockets to the moon or drive electrical cars, but the way we're building our homes is as if we were driving around in horse and buggies like hundreds, 200 years ago. So this method called Passive House, it sets a higher standard for building code, and overall it's just a better way to build. And I feel that every homeowner or anyone who intends to build a home should know about this. So I work with homeowners and contractors here in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, mostly in Alameda County and Contra Costa County. But I've gone as far south as Monterey, or so even if you're located in anywhere in California, I can help you. So at the end of this presentation, there'll be some information on how you can reach out, and we can get together and talk about your specific project. So this webinar, it should only take 15 to 20 minutes. I don't want to take too much of your time, but we're going to go over the 5 key principles of Passive House, and what it takes to create a healthy and comfortable home. So let's jump in. So what is Passive House? So it is actually, passive is a term that is used to describe a non-active way of heating or cooling your home. So for or back in the beginning of time, when humans started building buildings, passive, that was the only way you could build. To light your home, you had to know when the sun would be up and where to place windows so that you would get the most light into your building. So with the invention of electricity, indoor lighting, heating and cooling, we quickly went away from having, the natural patterns of the sun as our design focus to mechanical and detached systems. So in the 70s, the passive design movement came back. But in the 90s, a German scientist put together these building standards that help us achieve the more, or take us away from the reliance of mechanical systems and make better use of our outdoor environment. So this next slide is just a quick video that explains what Passive House is. Let's see if this works. Where this works. Oh. Is this working? Okay. Can we edit this part too? Oh, here we go.
Passive House explained in 90 seconds. Does your house have a heater in the basement or maybe a fireplace? Probably also a central air conditioner or maybe a window unit. Did you ever wonder if it was necessary? In 1991, Dr. Wolfgang Feist built the first passive house in Germany based on research from all over the world. Here's what he did. 1. Proper insulation. It's just like wearing the right winter jacket. It also doesn't need a heater. 2. No air leakages. There should be no holes, small or large, to let warm air out of the house. 3. No thermal bridges. A thermal bridge is like a road for heating energy in which warmth can travel right through your walls. As a matter of fact, most of our houses have thermal highways in our walls where heat can easily travel to the outside. Plus, the house needs proper windows, most of the time with triple pane glass, and it needs to be oriented properly so the sun can heat it in the winter and the shade is provided in the summer. And it uses an HRV, a device that provides the inside with fresh air without letting the heat out. Add all these things up, and it turns out your house doesn't need a heater or an air conditioner. So where does the heat come from? A passive house needs 90% less energy, and that can easily be supplied by your body heat, the sun, your appliances, light bulbs, and even your TV. This saves you a lot of money on your heating bill and helps preserve the environment.
Okay, so that was just a quick overview, and next I'll just go over re-describe the principles. So the first one is super insulation, or if you can sort of imagine a Yeti cooler, how you know, the container is really thick, so it can keep your drinks cold for more than 24 hours. And what this continuous layer of insulation does is and as far as your home, it keeps it warm during the winter and cool during the summer. So this is just an image of Rockwool is a type of insulation manufacturer. And for like an existing home, you can replace your current insulation with a product like Rockwool, and there's also products that you can add to the exterior of your home if you don't want to break up the walls on the inside. And this, if you're familiar with wall insulation, I think normally R19 is what is specified by code, whereas in Passive House, it would be maybe R45 or R60. So it's definitely much more thicker than what you would expect. The next concept or principle is airtight construction. And what this does is it keeps any, you know, drafts out of your walls and floors and ceilings. Sometimes on a windy day or when we have storms here, like in January, you can hear wind like whistling into your house or maybe around, you know, switch receptacles. So the airtight construction, it acts as like a windbreaker layer, and this air barrier is central to the performance of the Passive House and its durability. So if you also think about during fire season, which is around this time, when there's smoke in the air that you can visibly see or smell, this airtight barrier would help keep the smoke out. And not to mention ants. So, you know, if there's tiny holes and sometimes you wonder, where did these ants come from? It's through the penetrations that are in your home or building. So the air tightness is actually tested with a blower door test. So that's part of the Passive House method. Is all of these principles are measured to see if we're meeting that standard. The next principle is the thermal bridge. That in the illustration, it was that the coffee giving off heat. So in cases where like at windows, or if you have a deck that connects to the framing of your house, or even nails in drywall, this can act as, the metal acts as a material for heat to be lost through those points. And an inconsistent thermal barrier can create moisture buildup in certain areas. If the internal surface of your home is not consistent, it can cause the moisture buildup. And then the fourth principle is high performance windows. In the example that in the video, they showed a triple pane window, where here in California, since we don't, or in most areas, we don't have to deal with extreme temperatures with like snow, or it doesn't get too hot, we can actually get away with double pane windows, provided that there's enough, shade in the summer months. But with those, the high performance windows, that allows us to capture heat when we want it and keep heat out when we don't, like in the summer months. So if you think of our own skin on our body, the buildings we inhabit during the day, or we actually spend 90% of our time inside buildings, whether it's in an office or at a home. So you can almost think of the building as that your second skin. So the windows, if you have, thin glass windows, that's a weak point in your skin. Um, and also the benefit of having the high performance windows is the quiet aspect of it, so that's helpful. And then the fifth principle is the mechanical ventilation. So this is where you can open your windows if you want to just get a sense of fresh air, but actually the air isn't as fresh as you would think. So with the mechanical ventilation system in Passive House, you're taking in air from the inside and outside and filtering it, and then running it back into the home. So you're always having clean filtered air on a continuous basis. So I mean, you wouldn't, especially in moments where, there's extreme weather or there's smoke in the air, you would want to keep your windows closed so you can filter that air out. And also allergens too. If you suffer from allergies, this type of ventilation system will help keep a continuous flow of clean air in your home. So that's pretty much it. So again, the reason why I want to share more about Passive House and be more open about what's available to my clients is that we at the rate that we're going with construction and what we expect from our homes, and the way we build, the problem, I'm sorry, you might be thinking like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it actually is a bit broken if you think long term in the health of our earth. So we if the earth fails, then where will you live? So so what Passive House allows us to do is create durable, resilient buildings that cut down energy use, lower our carbon footprint, while providing comfortable, healthy, and quiet interiors, and with clean, continuous fresh air. So, and I know here in the Bay Area, it's pretty expensive to do any to buy a house or to even think of remodeling. So, with all the federal incentives going on, there are rebates available and special financing called PACE financing. That's Property Assessed Clean Energy, where you could actually take out a loan against the tax assessment of your home. So, and then for seniors and low income, there's other financing options available too if you qualify. So definitely this Passive House applies to everyone. And if you're interested in learning more about how I can help you with improving the quality of your home, you can call me or send me an email in my email's right there on the screen. Okay, I hope that's helpful and I will see you next time.